Okay, now we're going to go ahead and perform a group by. And the way this works, you pick, say, a categorical column like working class. And what it's going to do is we're going to group by the different options. So you see how there are these 3 rows of private? Well, it's going to consolidate every row of one type, say private, into one row only. So for a group by, you don't just need the column you're going to group by, but what are you going to do with the different values? Right? Like here's 9, 7, and 13. Well, we can only pick one number. And so, as you may expect, you pick some kind of a measure of central tendency like the mean. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do that now. And in this case, I don't know, I might just reassign DF working class. And although it is a group by, you can always add more sort of like underscores and names like GB for group by or just group by. And then we're going to take our previous data frame, the working class, and it is called a dot. It's a method in pandas, group by. Okay? And then inside of the parentheses, you have to provide, you can see it's telling you the way it's done typically. You can, in fact, there's some different ways you can write it. Like you can write actually by equals, and you put working class. Okay? And then you need some type of measurement on top of that, and you can do dot mean, and it should then group by the mean values of the other columns. And so for our new DF, then let's look at it. And I don't know how many, let's just look at it all. Are there more than 15 different working classes? I don't know. If so, we'll just look at the top 15. Okay? So let's go ahead and run this code. And you can see that it basically shows you the entire data frame. So this is kind of nice. So what we've done here, we've converted our categorical data into a group by. And it's kind of cool because you can actually compare them, right? You can look at the mean education of the different categories. Interestingly, state government is actually the highest on here. The capital gain, and you can look at, self-employed, which would make sense, would be the highest here. Hours per week. Interestingly, never worked is not 0. Aside from that one, the least would be, there's these question marks. Okay. So look, people who are self-employed are working the most. This is older data, but it's interesting to analyze. And just to recap the code here. So you have your data frame and you're performing a group by on it. And the other columns do need to be numerical for it to actually work. Otherwise, it'll throw an error. And then you pick your measure of central tendency at the end. So group bys are pretty cool.